Soybean futures have seen a drop in prices since the March 9th highs. And I think part of that has to do with the shift of soybean demand from U.S. on the export side to South America, and also the decline in China crush rate and crush margins due to spread of African swine fever in their hog herd. Corn prices also have dropped from their Feb 9th high and are now in a tight trading range, waiting results of the USDA March 31 report, and also just what things look like as far as China demand for corn and what things look like as far as U.S. spring planted acreage and weather. The wheat market has dropped from a Feb 24 high to the recent low because of good weather across the U.S. southern plains. For the most part, everybody has gotten moisture going into this spring crop. As far as will this trend continue, I think in corn will break out of this trading range on the upside due to tight U.S. balance sheet and increased China demand. Soybeans could follow, but in order to trade over $14.50 in the nearby futures, we're going to need a weather problem here in the United States or a bullish March 31 report. Wheat will probably continue to trend lower until we get through the U.S. harvest and know exactly what the Northern Hemisphere crops are, and then could start building up a higher trade when July and August is normally the Russian time to offer wheat for export. And with not a lot of transparency in their export program, this could be supportive to wheat, along with a post-COVID, once everybody's vaccinated, increase in demand here in the U.S. for food and fuel. Right now, we're seeing some good shower activity across the U.S. Midwest, Delta, and Southeast. That'll help recharge soil moistures going into the summer crops. I don't expect too much delay in corn plantings except maybe in the Delta. And then as we look forward down the road, it could remain dry in the northern plains, and then we'll have to see if the summer weather is conducive for these higher yield, trend yields that we're plugging in for the 21-22 S&Ds. Down in Brazil, their monsoon is almost over, and so they're going to go into a drier pattern. That could offer some resistance to their corn yields and could offer some support to the U.S. corn export demand outlook. The USDA March 31 report is a critical report. They're expected to say somewhere around 1,270 wheat stocks, 7,700 corn stocks, and 1,500 bean stocks. Any number below those levels would help futures, spreads, and basis. Conversely, anything above would be weakness. We're also expected to see 92 million corn acres, 90 million bean acres, and 45 million wheat acres in the report. And so anything below that is positive to new crop prices. Anything above that would probably weigh on the market until we get closer to the weather.
Fed Chair Powell will probably not deviate much from what he said at the press conference after last week's Federal Open Market Committee meeting, and that he expects to keep short-term interest rates unchanged well into 2023. And he will probably continue to talk about the economy on track for recovery. So I would not expect any surprises from Fed Chair Powell at either one of these testimonies Tuesday or Wednesday. Interest rate differential expectations appear to be neutral for the U.S. dollar index. The Fed likely to keep rates unchanged for quite some time, but so are other central banks. So that offers no comparative advantage either way. So I would expect the dollar index to remain in a trading range, probably between the 90.60 to the 92.50 area. So with interest rates likely to remain low for quite some time, at least at the short end, that's supportive. But I think the uptick in long-term interest rates will only slow the advance in stock index futures. And if long-term rates get too high, I think the Fed will come in with some type of yield control measures. So no, I do not believe that higher long-term rates will reverse this bull market in stock index futures. In fact, rates are still overall low enough to sustain higher prices across the board in all of the major stock index futures.